Some days I have no idea who I am or who I want to be. But the beautiful thing is, I can be whatever I want to be because the essence of who I am is still the same, regardless if I'm showing up as a fire dancer or a sky dancer or an earth walker or a human or this soul in this body or a friend or a coach or a client or a sister or whatever it is that the world needs from me. The thing about personalities, the thing about the joy of fully living is knowing that I don't have to choose who to be because who I be is consistent across all platforms, across all channels, across all of the all of the endeavors that I put out in the world. And this is the same and the true for everyone, I believe. It's that we get hung up on, oh, I'm a coach, or I'm a lawyer, or I'm a doctor, or I'm a teacher's aide, and I have to be that persona. And what if there is nothing extra to be? What if you get to choose from your moment to moment what you want to be in that moment? Because the essence of who you truly are remains constant. The essence of your love, of your true north, of your belonging, of your abundance, of your partnership in this dance of life remains constant, remains the same, remains steady, remains grounded. And so when we can locate that essence of who we are, of who we be, sometimes it's going to feel like you're literally just scattering yourself all over the planet and you don't know anymore than you did a few minutes ago. Being in the unknown is a very uncomfortable place to be. The ego sees it as an immediate threat and will course correct you and throw all the monkey poop at you to get you back into its comfort, its cocoon, its little box of conditions. And that's where it loves to thrive. That's where it can run the show. That's where it is driving the bus. Some days you're the windshield, right? Some days you're the bug. Some days you're the bus driver. Some days you're sitting in the back seat. Some days you're a leader. And some days you're an artist. Some days you're a pile of mush on the floor. Some days you're a hot mess and you have to show up anyway. Some days you're grumpy. Some days you're ecstatic with joy. Some days you're in such deep grief you can't even pull the covers over your head. And all of these experiences, all of the things that we humans get to experience in this life are not only okay, they're part of the dance. They're part of the dance. And so instead of throwing ourselves into judgment and criticism, and I've got to get up and do X, Y, and Z, instead of shoving it down with ignoring, with being busy and multitasking to keep the mind busy, can we ask better questions of it? Like, Is there a sensation in my body that I'm feeling right now? Are my feet firmly planted on the ground? Am I being present in this moment, witnessing myself scattered like dust in the wind? Can I be present with myself when another needs my attention? Can I be present in this moment when I do not know my next move? Can I be so present and alive in this moment that that is enough? Can I be so present and alive in this singular moment, in a string of moments of time that make up the movie of your life? Can I be so okay in this moment? That is a gift that we give ourselves. I know, that's why they call it the present, right? But it's true. Because when you become spiritually awake, when you start to really see and feel and sense the synchronicities, the teachers that come into our life moment by moment, when we can witness ourselves experiencing an emotion and not get attached to it, how long it lasts, or what it's really supposed to be about. When we can just witness ourselves experiencing life, this is part of the awakening process. This is part of what we get to do here on the planet. Can we sit with it without judging it? Can we sit with the moment without wanting it to be any different than what it is? As the t-shirt I am wearing, the shirt that catapulted my Mirror Mirror project. It is a phrase, I believe, from maybe Marianne Williamson decades ago or Louise Hay. But it's just let go. Let go of what you thought your life should be and embrace the life that is making its way into your consciousness. And this is the beauty of the spiritual awakening. This is the beauty of opening yourself up to things that you probably will never be able to fully understand. Opening yourself up to be in the complete unknown and trust that that is where you are best served in that moment. Can we trust that when millions of us are on this spiritual path of awakening, that we are what was foretold as the return of, this might trigger people, the return of Christ? I believe it wasn't the return of this avatar that we call Jesus, the return of him, but the return of his consciousness, of Christ consciousness, making its way back into our hearts so that we don't have to call ourselves by whatever religion, whatever race, whatever ethnic background. We simply embody the consciousness that he was here to share. He spoke his truth and he was tormented for it. He spoke his truth and he was ridiculed for it. He spoke his truth and was crucified for it. And sometimes that's what our spiritual awakening can feel like, right? Yeah. Because we're not out here shaking things up for the sake of watching chaos. We're here simply expressing this consciousness as only we as individuals can. And that really comes down to paying attention to where we are in our present moment. Because if we're living from stories of the past, unconsciously or even consciously, we're not in this moment. We are regurgitating things that have already happened that we have no control over ever fixing and changing. And when we get trapped in the worry loop of what's coming, being in the unknown space and being afraid of it because I can't see the bottom of this lake, I can't touch the walls of the universe. We are out of the present moment and now we are forecasting our ultimate doom. And neither of those places keep us in our truth, in our alignment. So if you are on this path of spiritual awakening, you're going to have a lot of questions. You're going to feel completely alone. You're going to feel completely isolated. You're going to feel like your whole damn world has been turned upside down. You don't know what is day, what is night, what is up, what is down, what is yes, what is no. I get it. I have been in a space like this that some days, some weeks, I'm just flowing, I'm just sailing. And all of a sudden, bam, random Tuesday, I'll see something. It'll trigger a memory. And I'm like, oh, that's the story I keep telling myself. I don't like that story. I'm going to rewrite that story. That's where your empowerment comes from. That's where your imagination gets a chance to play. That's where Christ consciousness is calling you towards. Some people are not here to awaken spiritually. Some people are not to be on this specific path, and that's okay. We can't make somebody take the jump if we're not willing to take a jump. And even then, we all have free will. We all have the power of choice. And so, in each of those moments, those present moments, not with all of our conditioning and not with all of our worry, when you're in those present moments of being aligned, grounded, tapped into your source, your partner in life, that is the place that we can choose our truth. And if it's harder and harder and harder for you to choose, congratulate yourself because this is the work. Because for the whole of your life, all of your existence, in fact, your ego is one job, your subconscious is one job, to keep you safe in that condition box because it knows what to expect. It knows all of the stories. It's very familiar with the feelings, so it knows what to do. And it will continually criticize and judge and torment you in little ways by making you retell the story that is not your truth. This is one of the benefits of having emotions because it is actually is your gauge between am I telling myself the truth or am I telling myself a conditioned story that is no longer true for me? Because there was a time when it was true for you. And we evolve, we change, we grow, we transform. And when we start to step into a fuller embodied version of ourselves, all of that old stuff is shaking loose. So if you feel scattered, if you feel unsteady, if you feel unsure, congratulations. The best way to come home to yourself is through the breath, breathing in and breathing out. This is me breathing in. This is me breathing out. For today, this is Sky Dancer, clocking out. Copy. Over and out.